Hey gamers, it's your boy MtG here, back with another Magic video. And I know I haven't been super consistent, but I've been working pretty hard on trying to make these decks good and actually enjoyable to play. So here's Dimir Control, and if you're like me, you've been pretty frustrated with seeing a lot of Oko, a lot of Nissa, a lot of Jeskai Fires, Planeswalker decks, and things like that. So this is kind of an answer to the current meta, I think. So actually, Runus in my Discord kind of brought this deck list up to me originally, and since then I looked at it and I liked it, and I've been tweaking it and playing with it and trying to kind of fine tune it to really aggressively crush the top meta decks right now. So this is kind of anti-Oko / Fires. It does really well against both of those decks, and I'm going to get into a little bit of why here in a second. But just in general, this is Dimir Control, and our kind of finisher. Our finisher is 2 Lochmere Serpent here. I really kind of didn't like this card the first time I saw it, but after playing with it a little bit, it's turned out to be incredibly strong. In the late game, being able to flash this in at the end of your opponent's turn, and then on your next turn make it unblockable for 7 damage, and then potentially draw you extra cards, bring it back from your graveyard to your hand. Really versatile card, and I like it a lot. It looks bad, and it's actually pretty cheap in paper, so this is a cheap rare for you if you're playing in paper. Obviously, if you're on Arena, it is just a rare wild card to get this, but it has been pretty good in this deck. Okay, so the reasons this deck is pretty good at answering Oko is because we are playing a lot of. First of all, we're playing a little bit of not what is the word I'm thinking of? Not retroactive, proactive. The opposite of retroactive. We're playing some proactive removal here. So we are playing 3 Duress and 4 Thought Erasure. So on the first 2 turns of the game, we want to go into our opponent's hand, pick out the biggest threats, and put them into the discard. So one of the problems we will run into is against creature-heavy decks, Duress misses creatures, so that's a bummer. But Thought Erasure does hit creatures, so if we're looking at Gruul aggro, we can go into their hand and discard a Questing Beast or something like that. That's going to be a really big problem for us. So yeah, this is good. Another thing we're doing is playing 2 Disfigure, and this is actually quite good at the beginning of the game because it kills Gilded Goose immediately. It kills Knight of the Ebon Legion. It can even kill a tapped Paradise Druid. Other things that might be problematic are Priest of Forgotten Gods. Other Rakdos aggro kind of stuff is pretty good against. This is pretty good against that because we do struggle a little bit against aggro decks, but Disfigure helps us a little bit, specifically against that the Rakdos variant. Gruul we definitely have trouble with. I'm pretty sure I've lost every game to Gruul aggro, but we do really well against food and fires. Other things we're playing are Negate. We're playing 2 Negate. This is mainly for Planeswalkers and counter spells against our counter spells. So yeah, and we're also playing 2 Mystical Disputes. Now, I went back and forth between playing Mystical Dispute and Noxious Grasp. Let's go ahead and look at Noxious Grasp real quick. Not Noxious. Noxious Grasp, I have it in the sideboard if I ever play BO3 or best of 3. So Noxious Grasp is a 2-mana instant that can destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white. And I liked it because it's helpful against Gruul aggro for sure, because it gets rid of Questing Beast easily, gets rid of Lovestruck Beast, stuff like that. But Mystical Dispute is very helpful for stopping Teferi and Oko from ever hitting the board. Because it's cheaper, it's 1 mana if you're countering a blue spell. And this is really particularly good in the early game because it kind of loses its power later on in the game when opponents have lands that they can tap to pay the cost of this spell. So I think this is good in the first 1 to 4 turns for countering pesky planeswalkers that are going to be a lot of value for our opponent if they ever hit the field. And I think if Oko and Fires are the primary issues we're going to be running into, I think Mystical Dispute is better. But Noxious Grasp can definitely be good if it turns out in the meta that people are starting to play Gruul aggro, which I've seen some of, and it's pretty decent. So, yeah, this is an option for you for sure instead of Mystical Dispute if you don't like this as much. But we are running quite a bit of counter magic. We got Didn't Say Please, and the main reason we're playing Didn't Say Please as opposed to the surveilling one, Sinister Sabotage, is that we want to put cards in our opponent's library to beef up our Drown in the Loch. Drown in the Loch is pretty good, cheap removal once we put some cards in our opponent's graveyards, and that's one of the reasons we want to be proactive about getting cards out of our opponent's hands, filling up their graveyard pretty quickly to make Drown in the Loch a playable card in the mid-game. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple. Drown in the Loch is a 2 mana, it's a blue and a black. You choose one, you counter target spell with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard, or you destroy target creature with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. So this card is only good if there are cards in your opponent's graveyard, and so we do want to be putting cards there. Obviously, we're going to be removing things and such, and countering spells, so there are going to be cards in their graveyard. We just have to keep in mind that we don't want to be exiling a lot of cards. Like, we are playing 2 Unmoored Ego, but for the most part, we want to be just putting things in the graveyard to make Drown in the Loch very, very efficient removal in the later game and in the mid game. Speaking of Unmoored Ego, let's talk about this. This is very, very good because a lot of the decks in the meta really, really rely on a few cards, like Simic Food and Bant Food and stuff like that. Really relies on Oko and Nissa to be really strong. And if we can get ahead of that and just get rid of all those cards from their decks ahead of time, that's really good. Also, decks like Fires, they rely on either Kinrith, the box topper creature, or they rely on Sarkhan to be their finisher, and so Unmoored Ego can go into their library and their hand and their graveyard and just get rid of all those immediately. So yeah, we like that. We are running 2 Ritual of Soots and 2 Murderous Riders for when things actually do hit the board. 2 Ritual of Soots is mainly because we're playing in best of 1. I think in best of 3, I would not be playing Ritual of Soot, but I would have it in the sideboard to play against mid-range and aggro decks that are going to be putting a lot of creatures out against us. Because we do kind of struggle against those decks, having only 2 Ritual of Soots and not very much on-board removal. So that can be an issue. But we do have it here for those decks that will arise occasionally. But unfortunately, this is going to be a dead card against things like Fires and stuff like that. So that can be an issue. I've already talked about Lochmere Serpent. We are running 1 into the story because it is actually... So I've had trouble with this deck in running out of cards. We don't have a very good card engine. We have 4 Narset, which is actually very, very good. It can go into our library, get us another counterspell, get us another piece of removal, and it prevents our opponent from drawing a bunch of cards on their turn. But Into the Story is just 1 card we can kind of bust out at the end of the game to refill our hand and make sure we're a threat near the end of the game, because sometimes we do run out. I tried this deck without an Into the Story, and I really didn't like it, and I think it's important to have at least 1 in there. Maybe you could run 2, but I couldn't really think of what to cut to run the second Into the Story. Now, our mana base is pretty simple. The main cost, if you're trying to do this deck budgety, which is definitely doable. We don't have a ton of rares in this deck, so it's possible to play it as a kind of a budget deck. But the biggest chunk of money is going to definitely come from Watery Grave. I'm running 4 Watery Grave. You don't have to do that. You can run Fabled Passage. You can run Dismal Backwater and Dimir Guildgate and stuff like that instead, of course. So yeah, those are options for budget decks. But I'm running 4 Watery Grave to make this as competitive as possible. We're also running a single Castle Locthwain and a single Castle Ventress. You could probably bump these up to 2, but I was having some issues early on with getting our mana costs correct, because we do have a lot of things that are very specific mana cost. Double black here, double blue. So we want to make sure we're playing as many dual lands as possible and not running a bunch of things that are going to come in tapped, possibly. So we want to make sure we have our mana costs there. Like, we want to make sure we can cast this on turn 3 and cast this on turn 3 and potentially cast this on turn 4, So we want to get our mana right, and adding in more Castle Ventress or Castle Locthwain is going to be an issue. So over here I've got some sideboard options if you're going to be playing this best of 3. I haven't really worked out a full sideboard because I've only been playing it best of 1, but I think Noxious Grasp is definitely got to be there. Cry of the Carnarium is probably a good option if you're looking at like Elemental aggro or just even Rakdos aggro. This is a decent choice against. And then probably another Ritual of Soot, at least 1. And then I don't really honestly know what else you would play. That's up to you. If you have suggestions for what sideboard options you could play, put those in the comments below so people can see those. And if you want to talk about Magic, join our Discord. We do talk about things. I post deck lists. Other people post deck lists every now and then. And we kind of talk about what's in the meta, what's going to be good. And it's a place where you can test stuff out. So yeah. The link to that is in the description of the video, so come join us. Join the club. Nice. So we definitely mulligan this. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. We're never going to be able to play Narset with this. So let's mulligan. That's much better. We can actually go ahead and get rid of a Dismal Backwater and then play. Yeah, so we'll keep 6, put Dismal Backwater there. We'll go Water Regrave first, and then probably Thought Erasure on turn 2, depending on what we see. I'm hoping this is not Gruul aggro. Okay, there's a Swamp. Barrier of Bones. That's weird. You don't see that very often. This might be like a dredge sort of thing, like a sacrifice thing. Murder. Okay, so let's figure out what they're doing. Let's go ahead and Thought Erasure, see if we can get rid of something important. Thief of Sanity, Dimir Spybug. Oh. Weird. Okay, we'll get rid of Thief of Sanity for sure. Dimir Spybug is going to be an issue potentially, so let's keep Tyrant Scorn on top. Yeah. I'm guessing they played the Spybug right now, because that's a threat. And let's see. I'm going to go Water Regrave for now. It looks like they're having a kind of a bad start, but I'll wait and see what they do. I'm guessing they go Barrier of Bones here, unless they drew a Planeswalker. They might have drawn a Narset, potentially. Thoughtbound Phantasm, huh? Okay. Let's resolve that. That could be an issue as well, but, ooh, yikes. Okay. So they're setting up a big board for surveilling. I'm going to go ahead and save myself some damage by just killing the Dimir Spybug now, and hopefully I can draw into a Ritual of Soot. So I'll go Narset, see if we can pick up a Ritual of Soot. I'm not worried about her getting killed here. I'll take another Narset actually. That's not bad. It's not bad. We're gonna have to dig a little bit, but fortunately they're not playing super aggressive. They've got one Dimir Spybug that's probably gonna bump our Narset down to 1, so I can't use her ability again. But if I do draw Ritual of Soot, they're pretty much screwed. Okay, Lockmere Serpent, yeah. Yes, we want to play that. Keep that one. Are you for real? We'll take Into the Story, I suppose. Okay, I'm guessing they're going to have a Doom Whisperer out there somewhere. So I'll probably Unmoored Ego for Doom Whisperer, because that's going to be their biggest threat. Dang, boy. Is that worth the risk to do that, though? I mean, I haven't seen Doom Whisperer, but they've got to be playing it in this deck, right? Like, they have to be. This is a risk that I'm taking. I'm going to guess they're playing Doom Whisperer. And we're going to Unmoored Ego that, and I'm going to be really disappointed if it's not in there. Okay, it's obviously not in their hand. 1 in their library. Oh my god. Okay, what are they playing? Rankle. Yeah. Davriel, Brazen Borrower. Etrata, Dimir Spybug. So this is kind of a cluster here. Yeah, what a weird deck. Okay, well, I get rid of 1 Doom Whisperer. Fine. I expected there to be like at least 3 of those. But that's okay. That's cool. So we actually take damage here. Oh, what are our chances of drawing Ritual of Soot? There's 2. Well, okay. That's almost ready to attack. I'm gonna pass turn. I can flash in Lockmere Serpent here. Dang. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm down to 11 now. Drown in the Loch. That's not great. So Thoughtbound Phantasm can attack now. I'm going to pass. I'm going to hold Lockmere Serpent as a blocker. I'm probably going to make Dimir Spybug drown in the Loch. They don't know like, my negate is not revealed. So they could try to kill Lochmere Serpent. Okay, so Thoughtbound Phantasm is about to get to where I can't block it with Lochmere Serpent anymore. Like, in fact, next turn I won't be able to block it anymore, so that's great. Passive blockers, I can't block. Take the damage. Do I draw a card? No, I don't really want to sacrifice a Watery Grave, so I just think I just go to my turn. That's terrible. Shoot. Okay. I'll pass turn. I guess I'm going to have to block the Thoughtbound Phantasm here. That's a horrible trade. So bad. Really, really bad. Yeah, I mean, they attack with Thoughtbound Phantasm. I block it with Lochmere Serpent, and I trade... Wait, why are you not attacking? You dum-dum. You could have... Okay, whatever. I mean, they could have had me on the ropes there. Okay, so now they have 7 in the graveyard, so Into the Story is only 4 mana. Yeah, they could have attacked with I can't pronounce it right. It's my southern accent comes out every time. Thoughtbound Phantasm. That's not what it is. They could have attacked because it was going to get buffed by 1 and would have killed my Lochmere Serpent. But I'll go ahead and play it Into the Story. They might try to counter this. I'm guessing they play Sinister Sabotage. Very interesting. I'm going to draw another card. I need to gain the life, actually, so I'll do that. But I want to keep a negate up because I think they're going to try to... Yeah, suck it. I negate your Brazen Borrower. And that bad boy goes to the discard. Fool. Now I Thought Erasure. See if they have anything in their hand at all. Tyrant Scorn, huh? Darn. I lose now. I lose because I can't block that anymore. So I have to, in order to not lose, I have to do this and try to draw removal for Thoughtbound Phantasm. Nope. Nope. I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead if I don't, right? No, I guess I did gain a life, so I'm not dead. I can survive. Tyrant Scorn on top is fine. Go Dismal Backwater. And then pass turn. No, I don't want to play that. Okay, we're not dead yet. We're not dead. We have a chance, because if we can kill Thoughtbound Phantasm, okay, now Dimir Spybug is an issue, but we take 8 damage from that, and then it's 9, so we go to 3. I mean, we're pretty much dead, right? We're pretty much dead. Because this will be... Yeah, we're dead. Huh? Right? If I do that, then I can't. Dang. Okay. I mean, we're toast. We lose. So unfortunate. We never found Ritual of Soot. We went through a ton of our deck. Yeah, that's a good game. We'll just concede now. Get this over with. Okay. Well, that was a loss. It was such a weird. Like, they're playing like super budget, like Surveil aggro or so, whatever that is. I don't know. Tempo or something. I mean, we never drew the right removal, which is a shame. Normally, I'm stuck with a bunch of Drown and Locks in my hand that I can't really play because they don't have enough cards in their discard. Oh Okay. This is a decent hand. I'll keep 7. See what they play here. Okay, they shock that in to play Pelt Collector. So this is definitely gonna be Gruul aggro. I think I swamp. Yeah, I swamp to keep Disfigure up. See what they play here. I'm guessing they probably have a Zhurta Goblin. Pass 2 attackers. I think I kill it. Oh wait, well, didn't really mean to do that. Whatever. I was considering it, and then I did it on accident. Okay, so this is Naya, and they're shocking that in. Why? I'm gonna duress. Why did they shock in the Sacred Foundry? Oh, okay. For Wildborn Preserver, I see. I don't care about Flower Flourish. I do care about Domri's Ambush. And we'll do that. And the next turn I can play Didn't Say Please. This is something I have not played against. I guess this is Naya Proliferate because they're running Bloom Hulk and they want to put counters on this, and then I mean it's not a terrible idea for a deck. Fortunately, I think we're gonna be able to shut them down. Maybe. I mean, obviously, Wildborn Preserver, the damage from that's going to be an issue, but I'm definitely able to counter most of what they want to play. At this point, I'm guessing they probably run Ajani Greathearted. Probably not. Okay. Bummer. So they're waiting to get their 5th land before they play Bloom Hulk. Okay, they got it. So now they Bloom Hulk, and I counter that. So we're at the end of this turn, we will have the same life amount because they've been shocking in all of their lands. Really? Okay, Into the Story now only costs 4. So that's pretty nice. I'm gonna pass turn for now, see what they do, and before combat, before whatever this is resolves, okay, Zhurta Goblin, so that's a non-human. I'm gonna resolve that, and I'm guessing they play it with haste and then put counters on Wildborn Preserver. But I need to, okay, tap you for blue. I need to tap you for blue, blue, black. See if I can get a Disfigure here, potentially. Shoot. Okay, nope, didn't get a Disfigure. So we're going to take a fair amount of damage from Wildborn Preserver, but we can kill it with Tyrant Scorn next turn. So it's not the end of the world, it's just not good. Do I look a little crazy right now? Yeah, okay. That's a lot of damage. Really? Boo-boo. You know what? We're just gonna kill this. Yeah, we're gonna kill it right now. Die. We were 1 mana short of that last turn. And I take 2 damage because I don't have onboard removal right now. But I probably have to counter something here with Didn't Say Please. Yep, get out of here. Get on out of here. They held up 2 mana, which makes me think they have something? I don't know what it is, but they got something. Okay, we'll go Swamp, and we can shock in Lockmere Serpent, or not shock it in, flash it in to block Zhurta Goblin. And we block that bad boy. Pass to damage, and see what they got. I'm probably going to sack a Swamp here to gain a life and draw a card. We want to start gaining life quickly. Okay, Pelt Collector. Fine, resolve. That's cool. And then Huatli's Raptor. Okay, that's really okay with me. Oh wait, I can't because I don't have a black mana source. I should have tapped those differently. I let it auto tap and leave Castle Vantress up, which just doesn't help me at all. Yep, resolve all of that. Sometimes auto tap really screws you, and I wasn't paying attention there, so I guess I deserved that. You know what? Let's pass the turn. I'll be able to flash in Lochmere Serpent here. But I want to wait and see what they play, if anything. Pass to attackers. No attackers. Okay, so I will flash in Lochmere Serpent, and I win if they can't kill either of these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I win right here. Because I do that, and I sacrifice an island and make them both unblockable, and then I deal 14 damage to them. This is obviously the aggressive play here, because if somehow they gain life or something, I don't think they have a way to gain life. I guess I have counter spells up, so yeah, there we go. Lochmere Serpent for the win, baby. We actually did it. It got a little scary there, I'm not gonna lie, it got a little scary. Hey, rank up to gold tier 3. I was gold tier 3 earlier before I went on a lose streak, so that was nice. Okay. Let's play again, see how it goes. I've had some weird starts here, like what looked like good starts, and then they turned out to kind of be bad for the deck we were facing. I've not been facing the stuff I thought I would. Is this good? Not really. But I'm gonna keep it because we are on the play, so we have a turn at least to kind of draw into something we can actually play. If we're up against an aggro deck here, we're probably just dead. Okay, Dismal Backwater. So this is some kind of a mirror. You know what? I'm actually gonna play Castle Lochthwain right here, because we can still play our island for that will activate. Didn't say please. Ooh, okay. This makes me think this is a Grixis Fires potentially. Yeah, Castle Vantress. Okay, it's starting to look a lot like Grixis Fires. So we got a good start against it, because we can counter Fires and Narset. Yeah, we counter that. Though I probably want to Mystical Dispute that instead of Didn't Say Please. We're getting close to being able to play Lochmere Serpent already, which is good, I guess. Nothing, huh? Okay. I'll scry. That's nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll go Narset on top. It looks like they're holding counter spells, but I guess not. Okay, interesting. Unmoored Ego. Okay, I can't really play Unmoored Ego right now because I literally haven't seen what they... I don't know what they're playing. I'm guessing they're playing Grixis Fires and they don't have Fires of Invention yet. But I think at this point I just hold counter spells for whatever they try to play first. And then once I get a grasp of what they're playing, I can then Unmoored Ego. I also don't want to Unmoored Ego and not have mana up to play a counter spell, so I think I just hold it for now. Really? What is happening? What is happening to your deck, opponent? What do you do? What is going on over there? Yeah, we definitely take negate. No question about that. I'm not going to Unmoored Ego because I want to potentially play Lochmere Serpent at the end of their next turn. So I'm going to put a stop there. They scry. Let's hope they have to bottom this with their Chandra card backs. Really? Dude, what? Okay, so I flash in Lockmare Serpent. Remove that stop. They don't counter it. They might have removal, I guess. Nope. They don't have removal. What is happening? I don't understand. What are you doing? I mean, maybe they do and they just wanted to save it for my turn. Okay. Let's Thought Erasure. See what is actually in their hand. Maybe they just have all lands. This is like the Hyper Flood of the century. Okay, Nicol Bolas Dragon God. That's what I thought. So I'm gonna unmoored. Ooh, but I don't want to give them cards. So I think I'll do that. I'll keep a Thought Erasure on top and keep counter spells up. Yeah, because right now I have available Negate and Didn't Say Please. And I don't want to Unmoored Ego the Nicol Bolas when it's in their hand, really, because it gives them a card, and like it replaces it with a card. I probably could have Unmoored Ego'd Sarkhan, because I'm guessing they have Sarkhan. Also, okay, they bottomed 2, which is nice. That means they didn't see what they wanted, and they concede. Okay, yes, that was a bad showing for, I think, what was Grixis Fires. Let's try. I'm going to try to get another game in here. I know I'm already at like 30 minutes. Am I at 30 minutes yet? Yeah. Actually, I lied. I'm not at 30 minutes yet. I am at 30 minutes, I mean. But I'm not going to get another game in. Instead, as a reward for sticking around, I'm going to open a couple packs for you guys. And if you're like me, you get a kick out of doing this. So, yes. I needed Murderous Riders. I actually needed that. That's nice. And I hope you enjoy watching opening digital packs. It's great. A great thrill. Worthy Knight. Hey, both Knights. Maybe Order of Knights is a thing I can do. Probably not. Order of Knights doesn't seem good. Okay, well, I hope you guys liked this deck. I have been pretty successful with it. As of yesterday, I had like something crazy, like a 70% win rate with it. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it probably, because it's control, it deserves to be played in best of 3. I think any kind of control deck is better suited for best of 3, but you can play it in best of 1 if you tailor it specifically to counter what's strongest in the meta. And that's what we've done here for the most part. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that is me signing off. MtG out.